This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now a play fake here on first down. Packer pressure, and down he goes. We've got whistles, and the man slow to get up here is the quarterback, Mahomes. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A dump off to Sims. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 30.
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's the Chiefs punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And it's fielded at the 34. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
On 1st and 10, Nicholson. He lost 9 there. That's really going to set him back for 2nd down. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the... Agility so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nicholson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. Able to fight through one tackle. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
And the drive begins here with Sims. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
We got 3. Let's go.
We'll take a look at the starters here defensively for the Packers. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now they run with Sims. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. 1st and 10 right at the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Now the ball comes loose. And this is going to be Packer football.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A first trip to the red zone for KC. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, 90.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When you get your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Off play action. Nicholson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Chiefs have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the 1st quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, check. Patriot. Hurry up. Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They'll come up on a 3rd and 4 here to start things out.
Now let's go.
Back to throw. Nicholson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield, get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And now here comes Kansas City. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given them a jersey, but a...
Oh, that is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Nicholson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Let's go!
From the gun, Nicholson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us one all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
They'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. A nice run there, 8 yards, moves him much closer to the goal line now for 3rd down. So now things get interesting on 3rd and goal from the 1.
This almost becomes a Darwinian call, doesn't it? Almost survival of the fittest here. I know we can go all cliche. I'll go ahead and do it. Who wants it more here? Who has a better leverage at the line of scrimmage? Let's go and see what happens.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Now back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown-to-interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
A very solid gain of 27.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
Green 39! Green 39!
They go play action here on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young bucks, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Sims. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Set! Blue 90!
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
first down.
conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman, because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he's brought down. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
Here's Sims on the run. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for it. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
To throw on second down, Nicholson. Walker with a grab, left side. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Nicholson, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that one incomplete. Had some position, but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to more NFL action on EA Sports after this. They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. With a quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a gain of 5. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Nicholson. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
They knew they were going to have great field position. Went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down. When they're that backed up, you've got to be careful going after him.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. To throw on 2nd down. Nicholson. And Walker has it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Throwing on 1st down. Nicholson. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Off the play fake. Nicholson. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Packers get a score closer. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Blue 90.
On the ground, the drive starts with Sims. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Stays on his feet. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. So that one will get him halfway to the first down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Packers get set to go. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Green 39! Green 39!
On first down, Nicholson. On target over the middle to Hill. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Green 39!
On 1st and 10, Nicholson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Nicholson. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be marked down all the way inside the KC 10. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 45 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Set. 3-19.
They'll look to throw again. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. Nicholson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And the 13-year man puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up.
Here we go.
But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. Past the 20. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
Back to throw. Nicholson. And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a one-score deficit. Or the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. They give them a gain of 38.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Here we go now.
He's going to get it running right. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
On goal-to-goal runs, when you create lost yardage plays, the only way that happens is either called pressure or what I like to call straight-ahead pursuit. A great read, and they get to the backfield and make the play.
And that was a big chunk of yardage lost. You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal.
Gone!
Looking to throw. Nicholson, the quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Well, they certainly didn't get what they wanted on that play. That means it's a big-time decision on what you call on 4th down.
Absolutely, because a field goal here doesn't do him much good. It's a quarterback sneak. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Packers move back within a couple of the lead. Well, there was no secret there. They were in goal line formation. They wanted to pound it in on 4th and goal, and they did just that.
And how about the challenge? That's a challenge to the offensive line, which they eagerly accept. I haven't met a lineman yet that doesn't want to run the ball more than throw it because they get to fire out and really smack someone. And, boy, they got it done. I'm sure they were encouraging them on the sideline. Let's go. And let's run the ball as well. And they put it in for 6.
And he slings one that's incomplete. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go now.
They'll run here with Sims. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ballard. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And use it under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Detroit! Detroit! Now let's go! Blue landed!
Throwing on 1st down. Nicholson going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 42. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Blue landed! Blue landed!
Back to throw. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. The clock rolls as the Packers look to hurry things up. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Set! Green, 39! Green, 39!
He's back to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
And now here comes Kansas City. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where Your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3
Still
front, you've
down.
got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Set! Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You're having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
Here we go. Blue landed.
He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hurry up. Here we go. Blue landed.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. And they'll indeed take a knee. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. And they cannot do anything to stop the clock defensively. 3 straight wins to start the campaign now.
And this is where a team, privately, within the confines of their own room, their meeting rooms, the locker room, they start to think to themselves, we're pretty good. We should be a playoff team.
A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Packers, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll